Hello guys, and welcome back to the second part of the Python crash course. So in this one I'll be showing you guys how to work with variables in Python. So without wasting any more time, let's just get started. So what are variables in Python? Variables are containers that are used to store and manage data. And the types of data that can be stored in a variable, since we said that variables are containers that are used to store and manage data. Now what are the type of variables that can be stored in the type of data that can be stored in a variable. So the first one is strings. And what are strings? Strings are just like simple text, e.g. destiny or your name, or example, I'm learning Python. That's just a string. They are just simple plain text. Number two, integers. And what are integers? Integers are just simply numbers: 1, 3, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are integers. And the third data type that we have on our list is floats. And what are floats? Floats are just like decimal numbers, those numbers that don't have points in them, like 0.3331 or 1.2 or 3.5. Those are floats. And lastly, we have booleans. So we could also store booleans in variable. And what are booleans? Like, what are examples of booleans? They are just true or false statements in Python. So this is just a quick overview of what variable is, and I believe that by the time you go more in depth into learning this and applying it to solve some problems and all that, I believe you should get a very good understanding of what variables are. So let's just go ahead and write down some code. So my PyCharm is open up here. The next thing you want to do is right click over here on the Python project, and you want to create a new Python file. So let's create a new Python file and let's name this variables and hit enter. So it's created our new Python file, variables. So the first thing I want to do here is show you guys an example of a variable. So for example, let's say I want to store my name in a variable. My name is Destiny, and let's say I want to store that in a variable. I can say something like my name is equal to Destiny. And remember, I told you that one of the data types that a variable can store is string. And strings cannot just be passed in like this, like Destiny Franks. No, they have to be enclosed in either double quotation marks or single quotation marks. But in my case, I'll be using double quotation marks. So double quotation marks, name, my name, Destiny Frank. This is a variable, and this is what I assigned to the variable. As easy as that. And before I go ahead and show you guys other things, let me just make some things clear. So if you could take a close look at this, when I was making the variable name, my underscore name, take note, it's a variable. It doesn't have to be in double quotation marks or single quotation marks. You just put the name of the variable down, then you put what you want to store in it. So let me just do that again from beginning, and I want to show you guys something. So when I was doing this, I did something like my underscore name. And why did I put an underscore over there? It's like a general convention in Python. Like you want to be a Python master or something like that, then you've got to stick with the convention. So either you do it this way, my, then capital name. This is one of the naming convention, or you could just say my underscore name. I prefer that one that way. So when you're using like two words, my and name, they are two words. Take note, there should be an underscore. And if you want to do something like this, my, then give a space, name, then assign this into Destiny Franks. Take note, this is not going to work because my and underscore names here, they're just like two different things. And hopefully you understand what I'm saying. They're just like two different things. When defining variables, there should be like an underscore over here that should link the both of these together. And I don't think you could make a variable like this with a dash. It should be an underscore, or you could just join the name together. But if there are like two words in there and you want to join the name together, make sure that the second word should be in a capital letter so you can easily differentiate. And hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. Now let's go ahead and do the same thing that I did before. Leave the space, and you can see that there's this red lines all over. Like there's one over here, and they're just like red lines all over here. And these are like errors. This indicates that there is an error in the code that you're writing. So you could just come over here and click on this to know what the error is, and it's showing unresolved reference my end of statement expected one. So unresolved reference my is this one over here. So it doesn't understand what this one is meant for, because it's like the Python program doesn't understand what this my is meant to be doing here. So if you just get rid of this, now you see that errors are gone. But if you want the Python program to know that you're trying to define a variable, make sure that you use an underscore there. So with this, you see that there are no longer problems in this. So let's just go ahead and do what we want to do. So the next thing we can store over here is something like my number, and we can store this like let's say plus 234, and you can store some bunch of numbers over here like that. And take note, when you are storing integers, if you can remember, I told you that these are what did I say it is again? I told you that these are strings, and I told you that these ones over here are what? Integers. So you see, these are strings, these are integers, and don't really bother about the stuff that I'm doing now, because we're still going to cover this in this course. They are called comments, but we're still going to cover it in this course. So my name, Destiny Franks, this is strange because it's enclosed in two double quotation marks, and my number, this is an integer and it's not enclosed in any quotation mark. Integers should not be enclosed in quotation mark, they should just remain the way they are. But in some cases you would want to do that, but not right now. So let's go ahead and store other data types I want to store. So the next one, I could say something like let's just say my school GPA, and you know GPAs in the universities, then want to store this as, let's say, 3.6. so this is a float. If you can still remember, this is a float. Let me just put it down there. This is a float. And lastly, we could store a boolean. So let's say is underscore male. That means this stuff is trying to check if I'm a male or a female. Then since I'm a male, it's gonna store it as true. And I don't expect all this to make sense to you right away, but just don't freak out. We're still going to cover a lot of things based on all this stuff over here in this course. So I'm just trying to give you guys an overview of what variables are and the type of data that variable can store. So these are pretty much it. Let's go ahead and see what other things that we'll have to do here. Let me just pull up my reference, just give me a second. Okay, and it's here. So we could just go ahead and get rid of all these, and we want to make just a simple Python program. Now we're going to write the code together. Me and you will write the code together, and this Python program is going to help us know where to use variables, know how to change variables. Then with this Python program, you will see the importance of using variables in your code and all that. So just go ahead and let's do it. First of all, you want to type out print, and I showed you how the print command works in the first tutorial. So if you're starting from the second one, I'll highly recommend you go back and check the first one. You can check the link in the description to get the playlist and all that. So let's just continue. You want to type out print, then double quotation marks, because I want to pass in a string in there. If you can remember, strings, they take double quotation mark. Okay, you get that. So in here, I want to type out my name is Destiny, and I am 20 years old. Okay, so let me just give you some time. Do this. Just type in your name over there. You could say my name is Karen, my name is Tom. Just put in whatever you want to put there, then put in your age over here. Then the next thing you want to do is duplicate this in 4 places. And in order to duplicate, you could just highlight this, copy, come to the next line, and you could paste like this. Or let me make your life more easier. You could just come over here at the back of the line or anywhere in between here, and Ctrl D would duplicate in PyCharm. So we duplicated this in 4 places. Now we want to change the strings in them. So this one said my name is Destiny and I'm 20 years old. Now over here, I want to say something like again. Let's say something like, sorry for that. Let's say something like I have a friend, Sam, and he is 7 years old. 7 years old. So do this with me. Let me give you some time. Do this. I have a friend Sam and he's 7 years old. Okay, there's a spelling error over here. Let's just correct that. Then over here, let's do some again. Let's just type out something like I love the name Destiny and love being 20 years. So type this one over, type this one out again, and in here the last thing you want to do here is put my friend Sam. Okay, let's just say Sam loves, sorry, that should be in the quotation marks. Okay, let's just say Sam loves his name. Sam loves his name but hates being 70 years old. Okay, so this is a very simple story. My name is Destiny and I'm 20 years old. I have a friend named Sam. So let me just put that over there. Named Sam and he's 7 years old. I love the name Destiny and I love being 20. Sam loves his name but hates being 70. So this is a very simple game over here. Sorry, like a very simple text or story, not a game. Yeah, we'll still get to building games in this course, but not right now. So the first thing I want to show you here is, if you take a close look, some things are repeated over here. For example, the name Destiny, the age 20 years, the name Sam, the age 7 years, the name Destiny, the age 20 years, the name Sam, the name 7 years. So let me tell you something. Let's say you're writing a story that has like over 500 lines of code. For example, let's say you have the story over here and like it has all this. Let me just go ahead and paste this. Okay, as you can see now we have bunch and bunch of this all over here. Let's go ahead and paste more. So right now we have almost over thousands of words over here. Now let's say in the middle of the story you want to change the name Destiny to, let's say, Team. Now you know that you've gotten into real issues because you have to manually change all the name Destiny to Team. So where's Destiny again? There's Destiny over here, paste in Team. There's Destiny over here, paste in Team. There's Destiny over here, paste in Team. There's Destiny over here. So as you can see, this is like really annoying. Now you have to go one by one, look for Destiny, paste in Team there, and it really doesn't make sense. So that's where variable comes to play. With variable, you don't have to manually go into the story and change anything. You just have to do everything automatically with just one line of code. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's just undo all these that we've done over here and keep the first one. So first of all, you notice that the name Destiny appeared, then the age appeared. So let's just come down here and let's say name 1 is equal to, and we want to store this as Destiny. So that's for me, and one also put age 1 is equal to, so what my age there was 20 years old, so that's my age 20 years old. Then name 2, so let me ask you, what's the name 2, if you could remember or if you could just guess. Yeah, you got the name 2 is Sam. And why is it showing a red line over here? Why is it showing this red line over here, if you could still remember? Okay, let's come over to the error and see what it's saying. It says unresolved the reference Sam. Can you remember what's happened earlier when we didn't use strings for this? Sorry, when we use double quotation marks for this. Now when you enclose this in double quotation marks, as you can see, the errors, they are gone. So we have name 2 Sam, and we also need age 2 to be 70. Yeah, 70. So with this we are all set. Let's go ahead and do the other things that we want to do in this program. So first of all, I want to introduce you guys to what is called concatenation. So concatenation in Python is just like joining strings and variables together. And I don't know the easiest way that I can explain that to you. It's just like joining strings and variables together. Or let's just say it's something like what example am I going to use now? Let's just say it's something like combining the tutorials that I'm teaching you over here and the nodes they are taking to build something. So that's what concatenation means, joining two things together. It can be a string and a variable, or a variable and a string, nothing, and it can be anything. Sorry, I said nothing. It can be anything, provided you're joining something together. That's what a concatenation is. So you could just write down in your notes, just put it down in your notes. So let's go ahead and do something. If you can remember in the long story that we did earlier, that we duplicated, we have lots of destinies over here, but we don't want to get into that issue when we keep writing more stories. Now the thing we have to do is come over here that said my name is Destiny. So this Destiny over here, we want to replace it with the variable name, which is name1. So over here, let's put in name1. Don't get scared, nothing has changed. We just changed the name Destiny to name1 because that's what's storing the strange Destiny. Then I am 20 years old. We want to change that to age 1. And you understand what I did? I have a friend Sam. We want to change that to what? Can you guess? We want to change that to name 2, yeah, and he's 7 years old, and we want to change that to age 2. So let's just go ahead and do that in all the story, in all the names and ages in the story. The Destiny change to name 1, age change to age 1, Sam change to name 2, age change to age 2. So with this, as you can see, we replaced all the names and all the ages with the name1, age1, name2, age2 variables that we created earlier that has all these data stored in them. So the problem now is, if we go ahead and run this, let's go ahead and run this. Okay, sorry for that. Let's just run this. So right here, it says my name is name1 and my age 1 years old. I have a friend named 2 and he is age 2 years old. So I think it's stupid. So what we have to do is come over here now and concatenate this variable with the strings. I know you might not understand this at your first try, but don't freak out. There's nothing so hard in it. All you have to do is just follow me and do what I'm doing. So my name is, at the ending of the A's, you want to put one single quotation mark like this. Don't bother about errors now. Everything is going to get in shape soon. So this is what we did. Quotation mark, my name is, quotation mark, then name1. After name1, you want to put another quotation mark, and I am age 1 years old. So age 1, and I am, before I am, you want to put a quotation mark again, and after age 1, you want to put a quotation mark again. So just take a look at what we did here. There's nothing so hard in it. There's no biggie in it. Quotation mark, my name is, quotation mark, name1, which is the variable that stores Destiny. That's where Destiny is supposed to be. And I am age 1. That's where my age is supposed to be, which is 20 years old. And take note, all the plain texts are in double quotation marks, which indicates that they are strings. And what I tell you strings are, they are plain text in Python. Okay, now we have to concatenate. Let's see what the error is saying. So as you can see, the error said, comma, or this expected. So what is a comma in what does a comma have to do here? A comma can be used as a concatenation. I don't know what to say over there, but I know a comma can be used to concatenate strings and variables, and also the plus sign can be used to concatenate strings and variable. So either way, comma or plus, they does the same thing. So we'll go ahead and use the plus sign. So over here, I want to put a plus sign at the front and at the back of name1. And as you can see, the error for that one is gone. Then put a plus sign 2 for age 1. So as you can see, everything is looking really amazing now, except just for one error, which says expected type string got integer instead. So this is a problem that you should run into as a beginner, and don't freak out. I'll still explain all this in this video, but all you have to do here is put it in the brackets. Then at the back of this place, you want to put str. So when you put str, that means we are converting this into a string. And I don't expect you to understand all this now. Just calm down. You're gonna understand them. But if you don't want to do this, if you don't, okay, let me not show you the other way to do it now. Just stick with this one that I'm showing you guys now till we get to the other part. So you can still remember what we did over here. We ended my name is in quotation marks called +1 name here, and I am called strange age 1 here. So let's just go ahead and change all this in the story. And we are changing all this because we started writing the story without using variables. And even we have used variables, it should have been very easy. We wouldn't want to go back to the story and change everything. So let's just go and change it and see how things works out to be. So I have a friend named 2, and that's Sam. Yeah. So if you could remember what we did, we ended this off with a quotation mark over here, ended this one off again with a quotation mark, if you could remember. Then he is age 2, we ended that off with quotation marks. So you remembered, right? Yeah. Then we concatenated plus over here, then over here, plus, and finally plus. So if you don't understand what's going on, take your time, look at it. I know I've been in your shoes once. Things should look tough and funny, annoying to you, but just take your time. Everything is gonna get better. So the next thing I want to do is convert this into a strange str. If you can remember, we did that up here. Now let's just go ahead and do this remaining things in the rest of our story, and hopefully by now you know what I told you to do. If you can still remember what I told you to do, concatenate, make sure you end off strings with quotation marks before concatenation, and you're good to go. So let's just go ahead and do this in the remaining parts of this story. I love the name 1, so we haven't changed this to end this off with double quotation marks, and we wanna double quotation marks, wanna concatenate plus sign, or you could use the comma, concatenate. Then over here too, we want to end this off with quotation marks, sorry for that. Then we want to space this out, come over here and concatenate. I don't expect you to be as fast as this. Just take your time, it's your course, and do what you want to do. Just calm down and do it. So h2, you wanna end this off with strings and concatenate one over here, and concatenate, sorry for that, concatenate one over here too. So name 2 loves his name, so we need to end this off with one string over here. Let's get rid of this. Then we need to concatenate just one over here. Take note, there is no quotation mark at the front of this place because it's the beginning of the sentence, and now as you can see, we've gotten a lot of errors here. It says expected string got integer, so that we just have to come over here and convert this to str, which is strange. Convert this one over here to str. And now our program is ready to run. So let's run our program and see what we have. Now it says again, my name is Destiny and I'm 20 years old. I have a friend Sam and he's 7 years old. I love the name Destiny and I love being 20. Sam loves his name, but he's been 70. So I just want to space this out so Sam and love won't be together. And this is where I spaced it out from, over here. So let's run this. Okay, everything looks nice now. Yeah, everything looks nice now. So as you can see, I'm not using my name over here. I'm not using the name Destiny, but it's still printing out Destiny over here. Why? That's because I'm using the variable that I stored my name in. Now let's say we have, okay, let's just go ahead, print this, and let's paste one over here, paste one over here, paste one over here. So as you can see, we have this long story now. That's, I think it's up to 15 lines. Now if you run this, you see that we have all this, my name is Destiny, blah 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 blah, and all that. But how about if I want to start changing the name Destiny to Karen or to Tim? What should I do? Now all you have to do is come over here and change this to Tommy, and now let's run this. So take note, wherever that there was Destiny, now there's Tommy. As easy as that. So this is where Python becomes very interesting to use. You don't have to go one by one manually into all the code and format them. You could just do what you want to do straight up by changing the name of the thing you assigned to the variable. As easy as that. You can now see it says my name is Tommy and I'm 20 years old. I have a friend Sam and he's 7 years old. I love the name Tommy and I love being 20. You could go ahead and change the name of Sam. Let's say I want to change the name of Sam to Frank, and let's say I want to change the age to this one to 70, and I want to change this to, let's say, 5. Yeah, just playing around, and let's run this now. The story has changed and it says my name is Tommy and I'm 7 years old. I have a friend Frank and he's 5 years old. I love the name Tommy and I love being 70. Frank loves his name but hates being 5. So hopefully you can understand and have like a clearer understanding of what variable helps you to do in Python. It's very easy, and there's nothing to worry about in learning it. I know that it might be kind of strange to you now, but just calm down. You see all those code over here, they don't really mean anything. They're just very easy. Calm down, take your time, go back to this video, and you should definitely understand everything that I did here. And in no time, with practice and more practice, you should get better. So that's pretty much it for variables, and if there are any more things, I will leave them in the description of this video. So that's pretty much it. Don't forget to give this video a like, and don't forget to drop a comment on this video, and also do not forget to subscribe. And I hope I'll see you in the next Python crash course, which is the third one. Bye and peace out.